Okay, Oklahoma City Blue versus the Iowa Wolves. It was Wednesday, January 31st, 2018, 7 o'clock at the Cox Convention Center in downtown OKC. I was there, and this is how it went down. Support your minor league teams. They need basketball love too. Let's talk about this. There was an exuberant buzz of excitement, not to mention a shrill, ear-splitting shriek sweeping through the lobby of the Cox Convention Center in Oklahoma City last week. Yes, it was the American Spirit Championship for a bunch of junior high and high school girls. Good gosh, there were bow-headed young girls with globs of makeup galore. Not to mention a host of beat-down looking parents. However, by the time Margot and I had took to the halls, the parade of teen and tween short skirts and high squeaky voices had vacated. We were there to watch a man's sport. Well, kind of. It was basketball time. Well, G League basketball, that is. Basketball nonetheless. And who can think of young, tender, underage cheerleaders when you have large, subpar basketball playing men to cheer on? Okay, that sounds a little weird, I know. But nonetheless, we had made the venture through the torn-up streets of downtown OKC to cheer on the mighty Blue of Oklahoma City. So, while Margot and I were in town for the OKC Thunder game, we thought we'd take in the Thunder's little minor league brother, the OKC Blue. While the crowd for the Thunder game was fired up, rowdy, and filled the Chesapeake Arena to capacity, the crowd for the OKC Blue game was, well, somewhere else. Now, I honestly believe that there were more fans at Margot's granddaughter's girls' club basketball game the previous week. Nonetheless, I was still stoked because this was the legendary Cox Convention Center, where so many great rock stars of the 70s and the 80s and the 90s had rattled the walls. Oh yes, Led Zeppelin had rocked these very walls. Now, just how many places still standing today can boast of such rock and roll royalty? Of course, in those days, it was called the Myriad. That's back when such places had cool names that had nothing to do with corporate sponsorship. Those were the days. Oh yes. And as soon as I took my seat, I started pointing out to Margot where I had been seated to see such legendary acts as Hart and Jimmy Buffett. And she was so riveted by my tales of past concert glory that she pulled out her phone and started playing games. Women. Okay, now for the current glory. The mighty Iowa Wolves were in town to do battle with the local OKC Blue. Now, I'm not sure where the name Blue comes from. Many colors come to mind when thinking of Oklahoma City, but blue just isn't one of them. But I suppose we'll just go with it. Now, both teams were struggling against each other for the top spot in their division, and apparently the Blue was so serious about the contest that they yanked Daniel Hamilton down from the Thunder roster to assist in a serious thumping on the guys from Iowa. And I'm sure Mr. Hamilton was just thrilled to death about that move. Oh boy. Of course, being a loyal Oklahoma State University fan, I quickly noticed that Blue starting postman was none other than former OSU star 6'8" Michael Cobbins. Yes, I was wondering what happened to him. Okay, in all reality, I had pretty much forgotten all about him. But nonetheless, seeing one of my former OSU Cowboys suited up on a court was nearly worth the price of admission right there, regardless if I remembered him or not. The ticket prices weren't all that high, by the way. Okay, having said that, let's get this game rockin'. And the game begins as Iowa's Michael Bryce struck first gold as he drained the three-pointer. But that was okay, because it would be the last points he'd score for the entire game. Then, after the Blues' Cobbins rode in 2 points, Iowa's Anthony Brown laid in 2 more points for the Wolves. Nice to see Mr. Brown putting his degree from Stanford to good use, playing in the G Leagues for this huge crowd of me, Margot, and an usher here and there. Okay, I see the ushers, but what I'm not seeing is the Bavarian nut vendor. What? No tasty cashews, almonds, and pecans? How am I supposed to get through this game without the delightful, yet highly addictive, taste of flavored Bavarian nuts? Back in Dallas, all the games have them. Even the minor league hockey games have them. Anyway, the second quarter started off with P.J. Doozer cutting inside and rattling the rim with a wild dunk, giving the Blue a 10-point lead. And being a bit more kinder to the rim, OKC's guard Bryce Alford finished up the second quarter swishing in a three-pointer, keeping the home team in the lead with a 51-49 halftime score. Yes, the home team was leading at halftime. But does it really matter without the delectable and totally scrumptious taste of roasted, glazed cashews and almonds? Come on! Without that, does anything really matter? Anything? Anything? Mm. So, the home team closes the first half with a 2-point lead. What? 2-point lead? What happened to the 10-point lead? I suppose I hadn't noticed the Wolves' little run there because I had become so preoccupied looking for the Blues dance team, which I'm not finding, by the way. I'm guessing minor league teams in Oklahoma just don't rate finely shaped and scantily dressed dancers. That should be printed on the ticket. Warning, this game comes with no dancers. First, no Bavarian nuts? And no dancers now? Where am I supposed to find my inspiration? Not only am I supposed to sit through an entire game deprived of flavored almonds, pecans, and cashews, but I'm not even treated to a few young, shapely legs and a little bare midriff? And now the announcer is telling me to get up on my feet and make some noise! Seriously? In Dallas, all the teams have dancers and nuts. Even the lowly arena football teams have them. What's up with that? Are there no hot 20-something chicks in Oklahoma that want to show off their goods for the sake of minor league basketball? Now, the OKC Blue just might boost up their attendance if a few hot women were added to the scene. Come on, guys. That's a no-brainer. If nothing else, they might at least get a few of the dancers' boyfriends to show up occasionally. Every fan matters. I know if I had a hot young girlfriend who was wanting to dance for a team, I'd be there at every home game. At least she wouldn't be playing with her phone through the whole game. Okay, the game may not have had dancers or nuts, but what the game did have, however, were a couple of double-doubles. Yes, Iowa Wolves standout forward Jefferson was able to drill in 23 points while pulling down 12 rebounds. However, even with teammates Elijah Millsap's 30 points, the Wolves just didn't have enough bite to stop the almighty Blue. Still don't know about that name. But regardless of the name, the home team took a pretty commanding lead in the fourth quarter, aided by sometimes OKC Thunder player Daniel Hamilton's 23 points and 12 boards. The Blue were able to put the Wolves on a leash with a 111-97 crushing defeat. Yeah, the homeboys might have won the game, but with no smoking hot dancers or tasty cashews or almonds? I mean, does it really matter? Okay, as the fans, all three of them, rushed down into the lobby to get in line to hang out with the players, I looked out over this arena that I used to think was so huge at one time. Yes, I still call it the Myriad. My apologies to Cox, but to me, it will always be the Myriad. Now, with a capacity of 13,846 seats, the old Myriad seems a bit on the small side compared to the 18,200 seats of the Chesapeake Energy Arena just sitting across the street. Oh well. I would say there's very little fear that the OKC Blue will ever fill this place to capacity. But dancers would help, though. Dancers and nuts. Just saying. Dancers. Dancers and nuts. Dancers and nuts. That would help. Oh gosh, would that help?